we discuss about the peripheral nervous system, spatial senses, cranial nerves, and spinal nerves. So today in this night session, the unit 4 is continue, that is based on spatial senses, eye, ear, and their disorders. Hope you will enjoy, and it's a very important topic in our all scientific and medical field. This is the outline of this topic, that is where we will discuss anatomy of eye. In anatomy of eye, we will discuss accessory structures, eyeball structures, lens, and in disorders of eye, we will discuss about the different type of disorders that is associated with the dysfunctions, complications, morphological and physiological alterations related to eye. In our this second chapter, we will discuss about the anatomy of ear. Same in the ear, we will discuss outer ear, middle ear, and inner ear, as well as we will discuss and we will learn about the disorder of the ears. So stay online. This is the overall structure of eye. We know eye is responsible for vision. Not only for vision, there are different type of functions related to eye that is associated with the vision as well as associated with the color differentiation, to exact analysis of the distance, to make the differences in between structures, and the vision that is related to particular sense organ in eye. Hope you all these pictures in past also, but today we will discuss this topic in detailed manner. So this is a outer structure of eye where you can see a pupil, the black origin at the center of this eye. This is known as pupil. The blue lining that is surrounding this center middle black region is known as your iris, and the white portion that is laterally present on this black midline origin is known as sclera. This is the widest and the largest portion of your eyeball. If we take the side view of this eye, so you can see same structures here like pupil. This is your pupil. Hope you are also seeing the cursor that I am particularly focusing on these structures. The black area, the center middle black area is your pupil. Behind the pupil, there is lens. And outside the pupil, the region that is surrounded by this pupil is your iris. And beyond the iris, on the lateral side that is surrounding this whole structure, that is your sclera. Sclera is the outermost layer of your eye. Below this sclera, there is another structure. You can see this is a pink lining that is behind the white outermost layer is your choroid. And below the choroid, there is a structure, and everybody knows that this is the most important structure, and the innermost layer of your eye is known as retina. Somebody, you also know about the retinitis, the inflammation of retina. जैसे आपको कई बार कहीं आंख में कोई पर्टिकुलर फ्लूइड भर जाए या आपकी आईज में इरिटेशन टाइप स्टार्ट हो जाए, सो दैट इज द कंडीशन ड्यू टू रेटिनाइटिस. And just at the behind of this structure, you can see there is a fever, and the origin of these blood supplies and the nerves that is coming outside from the eye is your optic nerve. You can see optic nerve. We know optic nerve is the nerve that is coming from eye to the brain section, and there are central retinal artery and vein. It means there are blood supply that is supplying the oxygen to the eye, as well as the blood, the veins that is coming outside from the eye to the other organs also. There are some associatory organs or the structures which bind or join with the lens, upper and lower side, you are known as suspensory ligament. And there is a liquid which is present outside this iris, is known as aqueous humor. You also known as, and the outer portion is your cornea. That is a protection layer that is present outside your this one aqueous humor. सपोज आपने सुना होगा कि जब हम ज्यादा स्क्रीन टाइम यूज करते हैं, या हम ज्यादा मोबाइल पे या लैपटॉप पे स्क्रीन टाइम जब हमारा बढ़ जाता है, देन इन दैट केस आवर आई बिकम ड्राई. सो फॉर दैट this portion of your eye is responsible. So this is the basic structure of your eye. So we start with this introduction. Eyes are organ of your visual complex optical system which collects light from your surrounding environments. So this is also the function as well as the main characteristic of your eye, that it is collecting the information from your surrounding environment in the form of light. Then it regulates its intensity through a diaphragm. Suppose आप अंधेरे में गए या एकदम से आप उजाले में आए, तो उस वक्त आपकी आंखों के अंदर जो आपके प्यूपिल हैं और जो आपके लेंस हैं, they become automatically adjusted. Because why they adjusted? To prevention from damage. To prevent from any damage, they adjusted themselves. They regulate its intensity through a diaphragm and focuses it through an adjustable lenses to form an image. They make an image of that particular object and convert it into a set of electrical signals and transmit that signal to the brain through the optic nerve. We already discussed in our last lecture that in case of cranial nerve, that how they process and how they visualize the system and they make the pictures as per the surrounding environment. So that's why eye is also under the category of sense organs, because eye is responsible to collect the information in the form of sense, and the sense is the vision, and they analyze this system in visual cortex and other areas of brain. So there are some structures which are linked and they make the eye. So eye is a delicate organ which is protected by several structures like eyebrow. This is a very common term, eyebrow. Next is eyelids, also known as palpebrae, eyelashes, conjunctiva, lacrimal apparatus, and muscle of eye. We know lacrimal apparatus is the apparatus that is secreted your lacrimal fluid. So these are the structures that we discussed in our previous slide, that this is your eyebrow that is present upper side of your eye. Eyelid, lid means ढक्कन, कहते हैं ना हमें इसका लिड बंद रखना चाहिए, इन स्पेशली इन केस ऑफ केमिस्ट्री एक्सपेरिमेंट्स एंड फार्मास्यूटिक्स एक्सपेरिमेंट्स. वी ऑलरेडी डिस्कस अबाउट दिस टर्म लिड. लिड मीन्स टू कवर अप, उसको ढकने के लिए. तो आई को ढकने के लिए हमारे पास जो प्रोटेक्शन लेयर है, दैट इज योर आई लिड. So we are coming from outside to inside. So be aware that the outer portion is your eyebrow. Below the eyebrow, there is a lid known as eyelid. And after eyelid, this area, these small hairs, these are known as eyelashes. And below the eyelashes, there is a site where conjunctiva merge with cornea. This whole portion. If I am focusing on this side, if you see a clear picture of this conjunctiva, it is a site where conjunctiva merge with cornea. This is your cornea. The next is palpebral fissure. Next is lateral commissure. Lateral commissure means, see, there is a common term, commissure. Commissure means, commissure is a common term. We also use this term in brain also, like commissure means the connection between two sides. Right side, suppose this is my right hand and this is my left hand, and there is some network which is going from right to left and left to right. So that path is known as commissure. That part is known as commissure. Commissure means the connection between two sides. This is known as lateral commissure. And the another is iris, eyelid, pupil, sclera. Sclera, what is sclera? It is covered by the conjunctiva. This is your lacrimal caruncle, from where you are secreting your lacrimal fluid, and this is your medial commissure. So these are the common terms. On the other side, in 3D view, you can see, this is a side view where you can see your eyebrow. One is orbicularis oculi muscle, that is important and functioning as to cover up your eyes and protect from some contamination or from some environmental toxins. This is your eyelashes, this is your cornea, this is your conjunctiva, this is the whole structure and the side view of your eye. So eyebrow, what is the function of eyebrow? Eyebrow is providing the protection the eyeball from sweat, dust and other foreign bodies. Have you seen that if somewhere, जैसे आंधी चल रही है या किसी तरह की कोई धूल मिट्टी उड़ रही है, तो आपने देखा होगा कि जो आपकी आईब्रोज हैं, they are protecting you from these type of substances because they are making some barrier. You understand? They are making a barrier between eye and those contaminated products. The next is your eyelid and eyelashes. So what is the function of eyelid and eyelashes? That these are movable. We know. हम कहते हैं ना पलक झपकना, तो वो पलक झपकना क्या है? That is linked with your eyelid and your eyelashes. Eyelid is the layer. Eyelashes are the hairs. Okay. Eyelid is a layer and eyelashes are the hair. So these are movable folds of tissue that cover the surface of the eye. They also help in the secretion, distribution and drainage of tears, and also responsible for corneal refractions when an object or a bright light approaches. Conjunctiva. Conjunctiva are the lines in the inner surface of the eyelids. They help in lubrication of eye by producing mucus and tears, because we cannot make our eyes for हम अपनी आंखों को बहुत ज्यादा समय तक ड्राई नहीं रख सकते. उसके लिए आपकी आईज के अंदर लगातार म्यूकस और लैक्रिमल सिक्रीशन कंटिन्यू फ्लो करता रहता है, ताकि आपकी आई के अंदर मॉइस्चर बना रहे. दे बिकम they prevent them from dryness. And the conjunctiva also helps to prevent the entrance of microbes into the eye. So now I am going to discuss the lacrimal apparatus. This is very important apparatus and the primary apparatus in your eye system. So lacrimal apparatus, you can see in the right side there is a special gland, also known as the lacrimal sac, where the fluid is secreted. And where fluid is secreted, आपने देखा होगा जब हम आंख में दवाई डालते हैं, तो आंख में दवाई डालने के बाद कई बार आपके गले में और नाक में वो आ जाती है, वो मेडिसिन आ जाती है, या कोई भी आप आई ड्रॉप डालते हैं. दैट इज ड्यू टू कि वो जो आई ड्रॉप है आपका, दैट आई ड्रॉप इज कमिंग फ्रॉम दैट पर्टिकुलर डक्ट दैट इज नोन एज nasolacrimal duct, that is coming from your eye to nose. So lacrimal apparatus, it includes one lacrimal gland and its ducts. You can see this is your lacrimal gland and this is your one duct. Two lacrimal canaliculi, one lacrimal sac. This is your lacrimal sac. You can see sac means the area where some fluid is collected, and one nasolacrimal duct. So this is superior canaliculus. This is your superior canaliculus and your inferior canaliculus. So superior means the upper side, inferior means the lower side. So what do you mean by canaliculus? Canaliculus, if we separate these two words, canal and culus, it means there are two canals which are joining at some particular site. One is from here, second is from here, and they connected at a particular point that is known as caruncle. So you can see in the upper side of this there are lacrimal ducts and the lacrimal glands. So one lacrimal gland and its ducts, another is superior canaliculus and inferior canaliculus, and they are joining at the point that is lacrimal sac, and this is a tract which is coming inside the nose known as nasolacrimal duct. So what is the function of lacrimal gland? Lacrimal gland are exocrine gland located in the upper outer portion of each orbit of the eye. We already discussed. Next is lacrimal ducts. They are 6 to 12 in number. If you see, these are the lacrimal ducts. There are multiple ducts. Okay. 6 to 12 in number. They dump tear on the surface of conjunctiva of the upper lid through the palpebral part of the gland. The next is lacrimal canaliculi. These are small channels where each eyelid drain lacrimal fluid to the lacrimal sac. Next is your lacrimal sac. Lacrimal sac means a portion where there is a retention, or you can say the collection of some particular fluid. So what you mean by lacrimal sac? This is upper dilated end of the nasolacrimal duct, and it is lodged in deep groove formed by the lacrimal bone and frontal process of the maxilla. Next is nasolacrimal duct. It carries tear from the lacrimal sac of the eye into the nasal cavity during excessive flow of tears. There are some extraocular muscle of the eye. You can see these red colors. Hope you are seeing my cursor that I am rotating on the screen and it is visible to all of you. So these are different type of muscles. There are different type of muscles which are connected, or you can say they are joined with the eye. Now what is the function of this muscle? For the moving of eyeball. What you mean by moving of eyeball? आपने आंख को दाएं देखा, आप ऐसे बैठे हैं, आपने दाएं देखा, बाएं देखा, ऊपर देखा, नीचे देखा, हम इस तरह की हरकतें करते हैं. तो इस तरह की हरकत को करने के लिए हमें किसी मसल की रिक्वायरमेंट है. नाउ द क्वेश्चन इज व्हाट विल बी दैट मसल? जो ये मसल आपकी अटैच है इस आंख के साथ, द मसल दैट इज अटैच टू योर आई, व्हाट इज दैट मसल? इट इज स्केलेटल मसल or it is smooth muscle. The question is here, this can be your viva question. What will be this muscle? It is your smooth muscle or skeletal muscle? In morning lecture, we already discussed the basic difference between smooth muscle and skeletal muscle. The first and basic difference between smooth muscle and skeletal muscle is the skeletal muscles are voluntary muscles. Voluntary मतलब जिसपे हमारा कंट्रोल है. अपन अपनी आंखों को दाएं बाएं ऊपर नीचे कर सकते हैं. मतलब ये कौन सी मसल्स हैं? ये आपकी स्केलेटल मसल्स. स्मूथ मसल पे आपका कंट्रोल नहीं है. एग्जांपल्स ऑफ स्मूथ मसल, कार्डियक मसल, योर जीआईटी मसल, योर रेस्पिरेटरी मसल्स. You cannot control these muscles, but you can control your skeletal muscles. So hope you understand this system, that is extraocular muscles of the eye. See, there is a term ocular. What you mean by ocular? Ocular means related to eye. It's not a eye. Ocular means related to eye, not eye. Eye is a whole organ, whole sense organ. But you mean by ocular means related to eye. आंखों से जुड़ा कुछ भी हो सकता है. आंखों से जुड़ा ये कंजक्टिवा भी हो सकता है, ये आपका क्या कहते हैं उसको, रेटिना हो सकता है, ये आपका आइरिस हो सकता है, कुछ भी हो सकता है. ठीक है. So these are the muscles that control your eye movement, such as moving the eyeball from side to side or rolling the eyes. आपने कॉमेडियंस देखे होंगे. आई नो ये नाइट सेशन बड़ा टफ होता है. ठीक है. तो आई रिक्वेस्ट टू ऑल ऑफ यू कि आप अवेयर रहें. आपको बड़ा मजा आएगा मेरे लेक्चर में, क्योंकि अब आपने देखा होगा जो कॉमेडियंस हैं, अब वो कॉमेडियंस अपनी आंखों से बहुत सारी हरकतें करते हैं. तो इन हरकतों को करने के लिए जो मसल रिस्पॉन्सिबल है, दैट इज योर दिस वन, द एक्स्ट्राओकुलर मसल्स. अब इसमें है क्या क्या? ये इट इंक्लूड्स रेक्टस मसल. You can see there are different type of muscles categorized into two types. One is your rectus muscle and second is your oblique muscle. Rectus muscle means superior rectus. You can see superior rectus as नाम, इसका नाम ही हमें बता रहा है. Superior means that is present upward to the eye. आपकी आंख के ऊपर वाली जो मसल जिसने आपकी आंख को कंट्रोल करके रखा हुआ है, पकड़ के रखा हुआ है, that is your superior rectus. एंड अब जो नीचे से आई बॉल को जिसने पकड़ा है वो क्या होगा? इंफीरियर रेक्टस. साइड से जिसने पकड़ा है वो क्या होगा? लेटरल रेक्टस. और जिसने सेंटर से पकड़ा है दैट इज योर मीडियल रेक्टस. तो 4 तरह की आपकी रेक्टस मसल. ओके, रेक्टस मींस द रिलेटेड टू योर स्केलेटल मसल, द सुपीरियर, inferior, medial and lateral. Another is oblique muscles. Oblique muscles are 2 types, superior oblique and inferior oblique. You can see this is your superior oblique and inferior oblique. Superior oblique and inferior oblique. Superior oblique, you can see the movement at the one side. Next, we are going to discuss about the eyeball structure. Eyeball. See, don't confuse with ocular. Ocular means related to eye. It can be any type of structure. It can be retina, conjunctiva, iris, your you can say your retina, anything it can be. So what is present in eyeball structure? So in eyeball, first of all, there is a wall. Wall means the surrounding boundary of your eyeball. This is your complete eyeball. Eyeball means your eye, whole eye. There are 3 type of layers in wall. One is outer layer, that is composed of sclera and cornea. You can say this is your sclera. After sclera there is cornea. Middle layer, choroid. Middle layer is choroid, ciliary body and iris. You can see this is your ciliary body, present both side, superiorly and inferiorly. And iris, this is your iris. This is a very important, which is providing a particular color to your eye, that is your black center middle portion. That is inner ear, that is your retina. There are some blood vessels and refractory media. In refractory media, there is aqueous humor and vitreous humor. There are 2 type of liquid is there. Media means liquid. One is aqueous. See where aqueous is present. Aqueous is present in front of retina, or you can say aqueous is present in front of iris. And next is vitreous. Vitreous, that is present at the outer portion. So this is your outer layer. First, I am going to discuss about the outer layer that we already see in the diagram. The outer is sclera. It is white outer layer of the eyeball, tough fibrous membrane that helps to maintain the spherical shape of eyeball. Now you see, what is the shape of eyeball? It is round, oval, spherical, round shape. If the morphology, or you can say if the anatomy, or you can say if the structure of eyeball is changed, it means something happened to sclera layer. Next is cornea. This is your cornea region. Here you can see the margin of cornea. So this is the part of sclerotic coat. It is transparent. This is front part of eyeball through which light waves pass. No blood vessel, but lots of nerve endings. Next is middle layer. In middle layer, you can see there is choroid, ciliary body and iris. This is your middle layer. Layer means the membranes. So in choroid, these supplies blood vessel to the eye. You can see here. This is the region from where blood vessel is coming and they supply the blood to the eye. It contains dark pigment granules that prevent reflection of light in the eye. Next is ciliary body. These are intrinsic muscle. You can see ciliary body. These are smooth muscles. These are स्मूथ मसल फाइबर. आपने देखा होगा, आपने सुना भी होगा, आपकी आंखों की पुतली कई बार फैल जाती है और सिकुड़ जाती है, सिंपल भाषा में. तो जब आप एकदम से धूप से जब आप अंधेरे वाले कमरे में आते हैं, तो आपका जो प्यूपिल है, जो आपका जो लेंस है आपका, द साइज बिकम रिड्यूस. व्हाई? देयर इज अ रीजन, बिकॉज इट इज प्रिवेंटिंग फ्रॉम दैट particular, you can say the particular light, then when you shifting from dark to brighter or brighter to dark. The another layer is your iris. It is color portion of your eye. Always remember, the color portion that is making a particular color to your eye is your iris. So this is color portion of your eye formed by circulary and radially arranged smooth muscle fiber. Circulary means circular smooth muscle means they are circular. We already discussed in morning lecture about the sphincter. So what is sphincter muscle? Sphincter muscles are smooth muscle which are circular in shape. The next is iris also regulate the amount of light entering the eye by constriction and dilation of pupil. Next is inner layer of your eye, that is your retina. This is very important. This is very, very important. This is the reason where your cone and rod cells are present. So what is retina? It is thin, delicate layer, continues posterior with optic nerve. You can see this is your retina. It is coming downside. When it is coming downside, it is also connect with your optic nerve. From here, this is the passage for optic nerve. The outer surface of the retina is formed by pigment cells that is attached to choroid. It contains photoreceptors. Photoreceptor means the cells responsible for converting light into nerve impulses, which making rod and cones. You can see these are rod, black and white, and the cones which are providing the color. I am giving you a very simple example. आपने सुना होगा color blindness. Some persons are not able to see the color in day also. उनकी जिंदगी black and white है. तो उनकी जिंदगी black and white इसलिए है क्योंकि उनकी आंखों के अंदर जो कोन्स हैं, जैसे ही लाइट आपकी आईज पे पड़ी, आपके कोन्स ही वो सेल्स हैं जो रिस्पॉन्सिबल हैं उस कलर को डिफरेंशिएट करने के लिए, और वो कोन्स डैमेज हो गए. दोज कोन्स आर डैमेज. इट मीन्स द पर्सन इज नॉट एबल टू रिकॉग्नाइज द कलर्स, and for that person everything is black and white. Black and white means the rod cells are present but the cone cells are damaged. And the small area of retina where the optic nerve leaves the eye is the optic disc, or the blind spot having no light sensitive cells, also known as rod and cones. The next is refractive media. This is very important, and there can be some viva questions related to refractive media because there are two type of media. One is aqueous humor and the next is vitreous humor. You can see this is your aqueous humor here, present outside the lens and iris. Anterior and posteriorly there is a media that is known as vitreous humor. Now what is aqueous humor? It is watery fluid that provide nutrition and helps maintain the shape of cornea. It is found in smaller anterior chamber of the eye. Anterior means आगे वाला, front. Posterior means पीछे वाला, back. See, in anatomy and physiology, you need to learn these orientation of sides, like what is anterior, posterior, inferior, superior, lateral, medial. I am giving you some example of these example. Suppose this is Suppose this is mouse, okay, and you take me as an example. I'm giving you some directions that will help you to easily understood the anatomy and physiology. Suppose this mouse is here. Now what is the position of this mouse? Listen the question. What is the position of this mouse? This mouse is anterior to Siddharth. I am Siddharth. This mouse is anterior to Siddharth. Suppose I am taking this mouse to back to my this. Now what is the position of this mouse? Hope you can see. What is the position of this mouse? This mouse is posterior to Siddharth. Okay. Now I am taking this mouse on my this side. Now what is this? The mouse is lateral to Siddharth. Lateral means away from midline. Away from midline. See, this is my midline. Every organ that is present in your body, we assume that there is a midline. And from midline, if you are discussing some structures related to lateral, lateral means away from midline. So these are the position. Now this mouse is here. Now what is? This mouse is superior to Siddharth. Suppose this mouse is below my leg. So this mouse is posterior to Siddharth. Okay. So anterior means आगे, posterior means पीछे, lateral means side में, away from midline, superior means ऊपर और inferior means niche. So there are two terms. Okay. Next is your vitreous humor. Vitreous humor is thick gel substance that fills the largest chamber of the eye and it helps to hold its spherical shape. The next and most important is your blood supply. From where blood is coming into the eye and the blood that is going from the eye. The eye is supplied with arterial blood by the ciliary artery and the central retinal artery. Now the Viva question is, give the example of the blood vessel that supply the blood. Again, I am repeating the question. Give the example of the blood vessel which supply the blood to the eye. Now the answer is ciliary arteries and central retinal artery. Next is, these are the branches of ophthalmic artery. Now again a different term is originate. Ophthalmic. What do you mean by ophthalmic? Ophthalmic artery. Now there are three words: ocular, ophthalmic, and eye. Now what is correct term? Ocular means related to eye. Ophthalmic means related to eye. And eye is a broad term. So ophthalmic artery, this is one of the branches of the internal carotid artery. Internal carotid artery. Hope have you heard about the carotid artery, but I am giving you some example of carotid artery. What is carotid artery? Carotid artery is the artery which supply the blood from heart to your brain. ब्लड वेसल जब आपके हार्ट से ब्लड लेके जारी होती है कहां? ब्रेन की तरफ, तो रास्ते से एक और ब्रांच निकलती है जो आपकी आंखों में ब्लड सप्लाई करती है. ओके, ये है. आपने शायद गौर किया या नहीं किया, लेकिन आप देखना, जब आपकी आंखों की अगर कोई कैरोटिड आर्टरी डैमेज हो जाए तो ब्लड रुकता नहीं है बहुत लंबे समय तक, बिकॉज देयर इज ए प्रेशर इन द आर्टरी in that particular system that is not stopping. Next is your venous drainage. Venous means there are two type of blood vessel. We already know, one is artery and one is vein. Artery means that supply oxygenated blood from heart to tissue, and one is vein that is carrying the deoxygenated blood from the tissue to lungs, okay, for purification. So there is a venous drainage that is by a number of vein like central retinal vein, which eventually empty into a deep venous sinus. The next is the central retinal artery and vein are encased in the optic nerve which enter the eye at the optic disc. Now this is a structure. You can see these are the system of your blood vessels. The red color are artery. The yellow color is your nerve. You can see posterior ciliary artery. Posterior ciliary artery means, posterior means back side, जो पीछे की तरफ से ब्लड सप्लाई करती है. इंटरनल कैरोटिड आर्टरी, दिस इज योर कैरोटिड आर्टरी, जहां से एक ब्रांच आपकी आर्टरी की निकल के कहां जा रही है, आइज की तरफ जा रही है. आप देखो आइज में कहां कहां ब्लड सप्लाई हो रही है. आइज के हर पोर्शन में ब्लड सप्लाई हो रही है, चाहे वो आपकी रेक्टस मसल क्यों ना हो, चाहे आपकी वो दिस इज योर, यू कैन से योर, आपका कोर्निया क्यों ना हो, तो वहां पे हर जगह पे आपकी ब्लड सप्लाई जा रही है. नेक्स्ट इज योर सेंट्रल रेटिनल आर्टरी. Central retinal artery means the artery that is supplying to the your retinal part. The next and most important is the lens of eyes. So what you mean by lens? Have you heard about the lens? I think this is a very common term. आपने सुना होगा. आज मैंने ब्लू कलर के लेंस डलवाए, आज मैंने रेड कलर के लेंस डलवाए, आज मैंने ग्रे कलर के लेंस डलवाए. उसकी आंखें नीली हैं, उसकी आंखें पीली हैं, उसकी आंखें हरी हैं, उसकी आंखें भूरी हैं, उसकी आंखें काली हैं. तो ये काली, पीली, हरी, इन सभी आंखों का खेल जो जुड़ा हुआ है वो जुड़ा हुआ है लेंस के साथ. सो व्हाट यू मीन बाय लेंस? दिस इज a very common term. It's a very layman term. We occasionally and particularly used in daily uses. So today we will discuss in some anatomical manner so that you will understand what is the function of lens. So here you can see there is a flower, red rose. You see this flower at this side, to whole side. So the light that is coming is making a picture beyond your eye, behind your eye, like this. So this excellent performance is performed by lens. So it is highly elastic, circular, biconvex body. I am talking about the lens. And it is lying immediately behind the pupil. This is your pupil and this is present behind your pupil. It consists of fiber enclosed with a capsule. Its thickness is controlled by the ciliary muscle. You can see this is your lens. Hope you are seeing my cursor of mouse. So these are ciliary muscle. These are ciliary muscles. Okay, they attach with the lens through suspensory ligaments. Bands means refracts. These bands light rays reflected by object in front of eye. You can see this lens is flattened, lens is rounded and controlled by ciliary muscle. When ciliary muscle is relaxed, listen carefully, when ciliary muscle is relaxed, your lens become flattened. When ciliary muscle is contracted, your lens become rounded. And in that case, your suspensory ligament is relaxed. See, everything is under control. These are your ciliary muscle. These are your suspensory ligament. Okay. So this is responsible for focusing on distant object. Distant मतलब जो ऑब्जेक्ट आपसे दूर है. आपने दूर खड़े किसी चीज को पहचान लिया. उसको पहचानने के लिए क्या जरूरी है? आपके लेंस का साइज क्या हो जाएगा? Your lens become flattened. अगर आपको किसी दूर की चीज को देखना है, किसी दूर की चीज को समझना है, किसी दूर की चीज की आपने पिक्चर बनानी है, आपको देखना है कि ये चीज इस तरह से दिखती है, तो उस केस में आपकी ciliary muscle will be relaxed, your suspensory ligament will be contract and your lens become be flat. अगर आपको किसी पास के ऑब्जेक्ट को गौर से देखना है, if you want to recognize, see what your eye is doing. What your eye is doing, your eye is making some picture of that particular object in your brain. Your eye is also making the color differentiation. On the basis of color differentiation, it is making some picture. Suppose you close your eyes. आप अपनी आंखें बंद करके किसी भी ऐसी चीज के बारे में सोचिए जिसको आप जानते हैं, तो आपके दिमाग में उसकी एक पिक्चर बनेगी और उस पिक्चर से रिलेटेड कलर बनेगा. सपोज मैंने बोला आप हाथी के बारे में सोचो, आंख बंद करके आपने एलिफेंट के बारे में सोचा, सोचो, जो भी लोग मुझे देख रहे हैं प्लीज, आपने अगर हाथी के बारे में सोचा आंख बंद करके तो आपके दिमाग में एक पिक्चर बनी कि एलिफेंट ऐसा है। कैसी पिक्चर बनी आपके दिमाग में? आपके दिमाग में आप किसी भी तरह की पिक्चर बना सकते हैं एलिफेंट के बारे में। आप एलिफेंट का फ्रंट व्यू बना सकते हैं, आप एलिफेंट का साइड व्यू बना सकते हैं, आप एलिफेंट का बैक व्यू बना सकते हैं, आप एलिफेंट का अपर व्यू बना सकते हैं। हाउ इट पॉसिबल? हाउ यू आर मेकिंग दिस वंडरफुल जॉब? जैसे आपको मैंने बोला कि आप लॉयन के बारे में सोचिए, टाइगर के बारे में सोचिए। टाइगर को आपको साइड से देखना है तो आपने तुरंत देख लिया आंखें बंद करके, आपको कलर भी पता चल गए, आपको उसका साइज शेप भी पता चल गया। तो ये पॉसिबल कैसे हुआ? ये पॉसिबल हुआ आपकी आंखों की वजह से। इसमें आपके अच्छा, इसमें आपकी आंखों का ही सबसे बड़ा रोल है। आपके टच, ईयर, टेम्परेचर, पेन, इस तरह की सेंसेस का इससे कोई लेना देना नहीं है। सिर्फ और सिर्फ आंखों की वजह से, just because of your eye, you are making a particular structure and color differentiation between the different type of objects. This wonderful job is performed, regulate and controlled by your eyes. अब मैंने आपको बोला कि आप अपनी आंखें बंद करके एक बहुत बड़ा शेर देखिए, तो आप शेर को जितना मर्जी बड़ा कर सकते हैं, because you know how to control this system. Now the next is the disorder of eyes. This is very important. You can see I just put this picture related to disorder of eyes, that is blepharitis. Blepharitis. What is blepharitis? It is infection and inflammation of eyelid margin. Please concentrate on this word, eyelid margin. Symptom is itching of eyelid, swelling of eyelid, redness and irritation. So these are the basic symptoms of this blepharitis. This is the original picture of a patient having blepharitis. Please remember, infection and inflammation of eyelid margin. Next is hordeolum or stye. Hordeolum or stye. This is inflammation of meibomian gland, also known as sebaceous gland of eyelid margin. It means both conditions are related to eyelid. You can see here. What is the symptom? Eyelid margin become red and edematous. There is a swelling, edema, that is causing pain, irritation, heaviness of eyelid and discomfort during blinking of the eye. So this is the hordeolum or stye condition. You can see the picture of this patient. Next is ectropion. What is ectropion? It is a condition in which eyelid margin rolls outwards. You can see the eyelid become, this is your healthy eye, but in this, ये देखो आपकी जो eyelid है वो लटक गई, अपनी प्रॉपर स्ट्रक्चरल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से बाहर आ गई है. यू कैन सी दिस पिक्चर. दिस कंडीशन इज नोन एज ectropion. The symptom is eye irritation, pain and conjunctivitis. The next is trichiasis. This is a condition where there is misdirection of eyelashes, so they rub against cornea. Symptom is corneal ulcers, eye irritation and lacrimation. The next and very common is conjunctivitis, जिसको हम बोलते हैं रेडनेस ऑफ आई. आंखें लाल हो जाती हैं. कब आंखें लाल होती हैं? जब आपकी आंखों में कोई धूल मिट्टी चली जाए, किसी तरह का कोई इंसेक्ट चला जाए, कोई छोटा मोटा मच्छर चला जाए, तो आपकी आंखें लाल हो जाती हैं. ठीक है, तो वो जो दैट रेडनेस इज नोन एज कंजक्टिवाइटिस, क्योंकि आपका जो कंजक्टिवा है that is in contact with that particular contamination. So the symptoms are your eye pain, irritation and watery discharge. पानी आता रहता है इसमें. That is cataract. It is a very common problem, especially in case of those patients who are having a blurring vision, loss of vision and photophobia. ज़्यादा आंखों की रोशनी. Photophobia means, photo means light, phobia means fear. लाइट का fear. वो डायरेक्ट आंखों पे आप तेज लाइट नहीं झेल सकते उसमें. Patient cannot tolerate that particular sensitivity of that light. So it is defined as clouding or opacity developing in the crystalline lens of the eye. आंखों पे कहते हैं ना सफेद जाला आ गया, लेमन लैंग्वेज में बोलते हैं हम कि आंखों पे जाला आ गया, तो डॉक्टर के पास गए, हमने कैटरेक्ट का ऑपरेशन करवाया, हमने जाला उतरवाया है. ठीक है, वो जाला कुछ नहीं है, दैट इज अ डिपोजिशन ऑफ सम पर्टिकुलर दैट क्लाउडीनेस. So that is glaucoma. What is glaucoma? Glaucoma means it is increased intraocular pressure. This is cataract and this is your glaucoma. You can differentiate both these conditions. This is your healthy eye. The symptom is pain in eye, photophobia, visual disturbances and corneal edema. So these are the basic symptoms related to glaucoma and cataract, and I want to share some specific key points here regarding cataract and glaucoma. These two conditions are mainly associated with diabetic patients. These two conditions are mainly associated with diabetic patients because the excess deposition of glucose can damage your eye, also known as retinopathy. So if somebody asks what are the basic symptoms of retinopathy, retinopathy means there can be condition of cataract and glaucoma. The visual disturbances, the patient, the blurring of the loss of vision or the painless, these are the conditions. So before starting our next sense organ, I am just again repeating this eye, sense organ eye. So it will be easy for all of you to understand this eye. So what we discuss now, we discuss about the anatomy, some structures, eyeball, lens and disorder of the eyes, where you can easily understand about the anatomy and physiology of the eye. So I am just repeating these slides, and after this quick overview, we will start our next sense organ, that is ear. So this is the side view of your eye. This is a very important. Please go through this. This is side view, and this is your, the students who join later, you can, I am just repeating these slides so you can easily understand what we discussed just half an hour before. This is the front view. In front view, what you are seeing, there is a pupil, and this is the center middle portion, and surround the pupil there is iris, and surround the iris there is a white portion known as sclera. Sclera is the outermost layer. The next, if we discuss about the side view, you can see there is a cornea, aqueous humor, and anterior to iris there is aqueous humor, posterior to iris there is vitreous humor. These are suspensory ligament. This is your iris, and in posterior part you can see there is a choroid, sclera and cornea. These are the layers of your eye. There is some structure, that is the swelling structure, that is feva, the region from where optic nerves are going and coming, and the central retinal artery and vein that is coming and outside from the eye and making a blood supply, proper blood supply to the eye. There are some structures present in the eye like eyebrow, eyelid, eyelashes, conjunctiva, lacrimal apparatus and muscle of eye. We discuss eyebrow, eyelid, eyelashes, side. This is a side where conjunctiva merge with cornea. This is your lateral commissure, eyelid, pupil. These are basic structures. We discuss about the function of these accessory structures. There is a separate apparatus, lacrimal apparatus. We also discuss about the muscles which are responsible for the movement of eyeball. You can see the muscles like the rectus muscle, oblique muscle. In rectus muscle, superior, inferior, medial. These are the name on the basis of their particular location where they bind to the eye. This is your eyeball. Eyeball means the outer layer. Sclera, cornea. This is your pupil. Iris, cornea, and sclera. Middle ear. In middle ear, some specific structures present in middle ear like choroid, responsible for blood supply. Ciliary body. Iris. Iris is a very important structure. Next is your inner ear. Outer, middle, inner. So there are, see, in eye, there are layers. There are multiple layers, outer, middle, inner, which are making a complete structure of eye in the form of ball, known as eyeball. In inner ear, we discuss about the rod and cones, function of rod and cones. Refractive media is very important. Aqueous, present anterior. Vitreous, present posterior. Aqueous means watery. Vitreous means the thick gel that fills the largest chamber of your eye, which makes the eye spherical. Now we discuss about the blood supply. There are carotid retinal artery, there are carotid retinal vein, which are taking supply from your carotid to this one eye and taking supply from eye to other part of your system. We also discuss about the lens. Then we discuss about the disorder of the eyes like blepharitis, odylum, swelling of eyelid, ectropion, your eyelid become distracted, trichiasis, conjunctivitis, cataract, and glaucoma. So this was a brief about the eye. Now we are going to discuss about the ear. So this is a structure you are seeing where there is a complete structure of ear, sorry. In ear, in ear, you can see this is a very delicate and very important part of your system. Ear is also under the category of sense organs. Ear, responsible for hearing. We are taking the senses from external environment through touch, skin, through eye, and through ear. Then our brain analyze the system and process. So these are the parts of ear. Basic parts of ear. We will start from outer side to inner side. You can see the outer, this region is known as auricle or pinna. The next is ear canal. This is your ear canal. Where inner canal is finished, there is a drum where your sound waves become striked. Suppose sound wave is coming from this side and they strike. They strike on a drum that is known as tympanum. This structure is your tympanum, also known as eardrum. Just behind the eardrum, there are some specific minor bones, that is malleus, also known as hammer, incus, and stapes. These are your smallest bone of body. Hammer, anvil, stapes. Other name is malleus, incus, and stapes. You can see here also. This is your eardrum, hammer, malleus, hammer, incus, and stapes. These are the smallest one. And this is also making the your middle ear. See, there is a canal that is coming from middle ear. कई बार हम कान में दवाई डालते हैं वो भी गले में आ जाती है. That is coming from your eustachian tube. जिस तरह से आंखों में दवाई डालते हैं तो नाक में आ जाती है, थ्रू लैक्रिमल कैनाल. सेम इन द केस ऑफ ear. If we are adding some particular fluid, if it enter into your this one middle ear, then it will cross the eustachian tube. And behind the middle ear there is a very sensitive, very delicate, and a fluid rich structure that is known as inner ear. This is your inner ear. यहां पे मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल देता हूं. पहले हम इस इनर ईयर को पढ़ लें, देन आई विल गिव यू सम एग्जांपल. इनर ईयर, इन इनर ईयर देयर इज ए स्नेल लाइक स्ट्रक्चर नोन एज कोक्लिया, एंड आफ्टर कोक्लिया there is a round structure that is known as organ of balance and semicircular canals. We will discuss in detail in next slides. And there are some nerves which are connected to your this. See, these are nerves. These all are nerves known as auditory. Auditory means related to ear. Same as ocular, there is a term auditory. So in introduction of ear, the human ear is a specialized organ that is capable of capturing mechanical waves and transforming them into electrical signals that the brain can use to analyze our surroundings. The auditory system is comprised of three components. We discussed in our previous slide, that is outer, middle, and inner ear, all of which work together to transfer sounds from the environment to the brain. So what is outer ear? This is your outer ear, from where the waves are coming and they strike to outer ear. The outer ear comes in all types of shapes and sizes. This structure helps to give each of us unique appearance, and it is made up of cartilage and skin. And the outer ear is consist of the pinna or auricle. You can see this is your pinna, this is pinna. External auditory canal, this canal, this is your external auditory canal. नेक्स्ट इज ईयर ड्रम, जहां पे आपकी साउंड वेव आके स्ट्राइक करती है, टकराती है, दैट इज योर ईयर ड्रम. सो देयर आर थ्री पार्ट्स ऑफ दिस आउटर ईयर. वन इज पिन्ना, एक्सटर्नल ऑडिटरी कैनाल, ईयर ड्रम. So what is pinna? What are the functions of pinna and how pinna is working? The pinna is the only visible part of the ear. We can see only pinna. What is present inside the ear? We can't see. With its special helical shape, it acts as a kind of funnel which assisting in directing the sound further into the ear. It is essential due to difference in pressure inside and outside the ear. Next, external auditory tube. Once the sound wave have passed the pinna, they move 2 to 3 centimeter into the auditory canal before hitting the eardrum. It transmits sound from the pinna to the eardrum. So these are the functions of external auditory tube. What is eardrum? Eardrum, that is the innermost of the outer layer. Eardrum is also known as tympanic membrane. It is a membrane at the end of the auditory canal and marks the beginning of the middle ear. It is extremely sensitive and pressure from sound waves makes the eardrum vibrate. The auditory canal is slightly curved in order to protect the ear drum, making it more difficult for insects, for example, to reach the eardrum. At the same time, this is very important. देखो हम कान में जब ईयरबड्स डालते हैं, जो आप ईयरबड्स डालते हैं, that is your ear wax, also known as cerumen. That is also secreting at eardrum. It is also available in the auditor canal and also helps to keep unwanted materials like dirt, dust, and insects out of the ear. Now I am going to discuss about the middle ear. These are the structures of the middle ear. Middle ear is start from the eardrum. There are three type of very small bones like malleus, stricon, incus, stricon, stapes. These three bones and the cavity is known as tympanic cavity. So these are the ligaments from which these three small bones are attached. You can see, if you see my cursor, one ligament, second ligament, third ligament. These are the ligaments which try to attach or to provide the structural support to these bones. There is a oval window, round window, and eustachian tube. This whole portion, this one, this is your middle ear. So it is the portion of ear internal to the eardrum and external to the oval window of the inner ear. It transfers the energy of a sound wave by vibrating the three bones found there. In this, these three bones, which are known as malleus, incus, and stapes, collectively known as ossicles. So there is a question here. This question can be asked into Viva. ये Viva में भी आपसे पूछा जा सकता है कि what you mean by ossicles. So आप आंसर दे सकते हैं. Ossicles are the collection of three small bones which are connectively each other making the middle ear. So what is ossicle? These are three small bones that are connected and transmit the sound waves to the inner ear. The bones are called malleus, incus, and stapes. What is malleus? It is long handle attached to the eardrum. हमने देखा है अभी कि जो आपका आउटर ईयर का ईयर ड्रम है. आई एम अगेन शोइंग दिस स्ट्रक्चर. यू कैन सी मेलियस आपका किससे अटैच है? ईयर ड्रम से अटैच है. ईयर ड्रम इज नॉट द पार्ट ऑफ मिडल ईयर. ईयर ड्रम इज द पार्ट ऑफ आउटर ईयर. Incus, the bridge bone between the malleus and the stapes. Stapes, the foot plate, the smallest bone in the body. Now you got your answer. What is the smallest bone in the body? That is your middle ear stapes. The next is your middle ear portion is eustachian tube. It is a canal that links the middle ear with the back of the nose. It helps to equalize the pressure in the middle ear. It is lined with mucus, just like the inside of the nose and throat. So it is very important. Again, there is a question that how it is linked. It is linked with mucus, that is just like inside of the nose and throat. The next is inner ear. Inner ear is the innermost part of the vertebrae ear. Inner ear is the innermost part of the vertebrae ear. There are different portions of the inner ear that is known as internal ear or is internal. Hope you are seeing this structure where I am showing a complete portion of your inner ear. It's a snail-like structure. Here you can see a purple, a purple and a blue portion of this inner ear. This is very delicate, very sensitive, very soft, and a fluid that is known as endolymph, that is known as labyrinth present in that inner ear. That is known as inner ear fluid. So वन इज बॉनी लेबरिंथ. बॉनी लेबरिंथ वो पोर्शन है जिसने मेम्ब्रेनस लेबरिंथ को कवर किया हुआ है. यू कैन सी द पर्पल outer layering is purple and the inner layering is membrane. So the membrane is covered by bony labyrinth. Okay. So in vertebrates, it is mainly responsible for sound detection and balance. So in this structure, you can see there is snail-like structure that is making a curve, and in this curve the upper portion is anterior, the lower portion is posterior, and the side portion is lateral. So it is not, I think it is not confusing. Anterior, posterior and lateral, these are known as semicircular ducts. The central portion is known as atricle, and below the atricle in the inner ear of this labyrinth, membranous labyrinth, there is a structure that is called sacculae. And below the sacculae, there are vestibular ducts, cochlear duct. This is your vestibular duct. This is your cochlear duct. This is your tympanic duct. And this whole portion is cochlear. And this is your vestibulo-cochlear nerve. Now I am giving you some example. Suppose आप एक झूले पे चढ़े जो गोल गोल घूम रहा है. आप कहते हो जी मैं तो झूले पे चढ़ता हूं तो मुझे चक्कर आते हैं, या मैं थोड़ा सा भी घूम लूं तो मुझे चक्कर आते हैं. किसी को गाड़ी में कोई पहाड़ों के पे सैर करते हैं तो चक्कर आते हैं. तो ये चक्कर आ क्यों रहे हैं? कई बार आपको वॉमिटिंग या वॉमिटिंग लाइक सिम्टम्स आते हैं. ये क्यों हो रहा है ऐसे? क्योंकि आपके इनर ईयर में एक फ्लूइड प्रेजेंट है. देयर इज ए फ्लूइड प्रेजेंट इन द इनर ईयर दैट इज बैलेंस. वो हिलता डुलता नहीं है. तो अगर आप गोल गोल घूमोगे या पहाड़ों में गाड़ियां ऊपर नीचे जाएंगी तो वो फ्लूइड इम्बैलेंस होता है. That fluid become imbalance, and that imbalance information is taken up by the nerve that is known as vestibulocochlear nerve. And in your brain there is a center known as CTZ or vomiting center that is stimulated, and you nausea like feeling. So inner ear includes oval window, semicircular ducts, cochlea and auditory tubes. What is oval window? It connects the middle ear with the inner ear. Next is semicircular ducts. It is filled with fluid attached to cochlea and nerves and send the information on balance and head position to the brain. Now what is cochlea? It is spiral shaped organ of hearing that transforms sound into signal that get sent to the brain. Next is auditory tube. It drains fluid from the middle ear into the throat behind the nose. So these are very important structures of inner ear. Now this is very important. How we hear? What is the mechanism behind the hearing? There is a simple mechanism that the sound funnels through the pinna into the external auditory canal at the eardrum. Suppose some sound is coming. First, the sound is coming that will enter from outer ear, and it will strike on eardrum. Then eardrum vibrate. आपका eardrum vibrate करेगा. ये sound wave आई, देखो आप, ये sound wave आई. साउंड वेव किससे टकराई? ईयर ड्रम से. ईयर ड्रम वाइब्रेट हुआ. ईयर ड्रम के पीछे कौन है? 3 बोन्स हैं, जिनको क्या बोलते हैं? ऑसिकल्स. सबसे पहली मेलियस, ये मेलियस है. मेलियस वाइब्रेट हुई. मेलियस किससे टकराई? इंकस. इंकस वाइब्रेट हुई. इंकस फिर तीसरी बोन से टकराई, जिसको क्या बोलते हैं? स्टेप्स. स्टेप्स किससे टकराई? इनर ईयर से. सो द ईयर ड्रम वाइब्रेट and the vibrations are conducted to the nearby cochlea. Now what is cochlea? It is spiral shape that transforms sound into nerve impulses that travel to the brain. The fluid that is filled in semicircular canals send information on balance and head position to the brain. The eustachian tube drains fluid from the middle ear into the trone behind the nose. So this is a simple mechanism of hearing. Now I am going to discuss about the disorders of the ears. Disorder of the ears. Disorder means the functioning of ear. When the functioning of ear is not proper, there is some dysfunction. Dysfunction can be in anatomy. Dysfunction can be in their physiology. So the condition that is otosclerosis. What is otosclerosis? See, auto means related to ear. Auditory means related to hearing. Don't confuse. In case of that, ear. In ear, we use 2 terms, ocular and ophthalmic. Both terms are related to eye. In this case, there are 2 terms. One is otology, and another is auditory. Auditory means related to hearing, सुनने से संबंधित. And otology means related to ear, आंख कानों से संबंधित. So what is otosclerosis? It is a condition where there is abnormal growth around one of the small bone inside the ear, that is stapes. You can see this is your stapes. There is some inflammation. Stapes get immobile and leads to conductive hearing loss. बाहर से साउंड वेव आ रही हैं. साउंड वेव ईयर ड्रम से टकराई. ईयर ड्रम ने वाइब्रेट किया किसको? मेलियस को. मेलियस ने वाइब्रेट किसको किया? इंकस को. जब इंकस ने वाइब्रेशन भेजी किसको? लास्ट बोन को, जिसका क्या नाम है? स्मॉलेस्ट बोन, स्टेप्स. अब जैसे ही ये वाइब्रेशन आई, ये नहीं हिला, ये स्टेबल रहा. This is a main step that is making a connection between middle ear and inner ear. It means the vibration is not moving forward. So in this condition is causing hearing loss, and this system of this dysfunction is known as otosclerosis. This is a common disease, that is Meniere disease. What is Meniere disease? A condition where there is an excess of fluid in the inner ear. अगर आपके inner ear में जो लेब्रिंथ है, जिसको आप फ्लूइड बोलते हैं, अगर वो बहुत एक्सेस में भर जाए, जिससे आपके कानों में क्या शुरू हो जाएगा? इट क्रिएट सम एक्सेसिव प्रेशर, स्वेलिंग आ जाएगी. तो आप बार बार आपको चक्कर आएंगे, आपको बार बार नींद आएगी. यू बिकम अनकॉन्शियस, यू बिकम सम हियरिंग लॉस. सो इट कॉजेज डिजीनेस, nausea, ringing in the ears, fluctuating hearing, and a feeling of pressure inside the ear. This is a very common disease, Meniere disease. It can be due to some genetic abnormalities. It can be due to some infection, it can be due to some inflammation. Okay, so in that case, see, again I am telling, inner ear is responsible for balance. So what do you mean by balance? Balance means, जैसे मैंने आपको अभी एक एग्जांपल दिया था कि अगर आप किसी झूले पे घूम रहे हैं या पहाड़ों से गाड़ी से आप ड्राइव कर रहे हैं, तो जो बार बार ये चीज घूमती है, इसको घूमने से हो क्या रहा है? घूमने से क्या हो रहा है कि आपके इनर ईयर के अंदर जो फ्लूइड है वो इम्बैलेंस हो रहा है। जब आपका फ्लूइड इम्बैलेंस हो रहा है, तो जो वेस्टिबुलो कॉक्लियर नर्व्स हैं वो मैसेज लेके कहां जा रही है? ब्रेन के अंदर। और ब्रेन में वो मैसेज कहां जाके स्टिमुलेट हो रहा है? वॉमिटिंग सेंटर पे। देन यू फील लाइक नोजिया, यू फील लाइक वॉमिटिंग। ठीक है, आपको ऐसा लगता है जैसे कानों में कुछ बज रहा है। वो बज नहीं रहा, वो आपके इनर ईयर के अंदर जो फ्लूइड कलेक्ट हुआ है उसकी वजह से। नेक्स्ट इज ओटाइटिस। What is otitis? Otitis means, see, if somewhere the post suffix is itis, it means it is inflammation. And we already discussed there are two terms, otology and auditory. Auditory means related to hearing, सुनने से संबंधित, the relation related to hearing. And the another is otology. Otology means related to ear. The otitis means inflammation of inner ear that is caused by bacteria or virus that is mainly responsible to accumulate the fluid behind your eardrum. मतलब आपके मिडल ईयर में, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द मिडल ईयर, आपके मिडल ईयर में फ्लूइड इकट्ठा और भरना शुरू हो जाता है. सो इट इज नॉट सीरियस इफ ट्रीटेड करेक्टली एंड डज नॉट रिटर्न रिपीटेडली. Next is presbycusis. Presbycusis is, it is age-related hearing loss, the gradual loss of hearing in adults as they grow older, and it is usually bilateral and symmetrical, which meaning it occur at the same rate simultaneously in both ears. जैसे एज के साथ साथ आपके कानों के अंदर जो फ्लूइड है इट बिकम ड्राई, देन द पर्सन कैन बी ड्यू टू सम हियरिंग लॉस. कहते हैं ना, आपको जब आदमी बुजुर्ग हो जाता है या एज रिलेटेड अगर उसको कोई प्रॉब्लम है, देन इट कॉजेज सम हियरिंग लॉस. नेक्स्ट इज बैरोट्रोमा. बैरोट्रोमा, इट इज द टर्म दैट इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर फिजिकल डैमेज टू द ईयर कॉज्ड बाय बैरोमेट्रिक और वाटर प्रेशर. बहुत ज्यादा साउंड आपके कानों में आया या बहुत ज्यादा कोई वेव आपके आई जिसने आपके ईयर ड्रम को बहुत ज्यादा प्रेशर ने डैमेज कर दिया, दैट इज term as barotrauma. So these are the references of this ear and eye. Now I am going to sharing my another slide related to the sense organs, where we will discuss about the tongue and nose. So now I am going to discuss our next topic related to spatial senses. We discussed in our previous slides regarding ear and eye. Now I am going to discuss nose, tongue and their disorders. This is the last topic of unit 4. Hope you will enjoy, and we will discuss now. So now I am going to discuss about the nose. In nose, you can see this is a 3D image of this nose, which is also responsible for smell. In nose, there are different type of layers. There are two canals from where the air is coming. Nose is also responsible for breathing as well as to sense the smell and the different type of those chemicals that are present surrounding our system. So in introduction part, What is nose? Nose is an organ that is projecting above the mouth on the face of a person. It containing the nostrils. So you need to understand what is nostril. Nostril means the air passage. These are your nostrils. Nostril means the canals from where the air is coming and going outside. It is also responsible, that is a passageway responsible for respiration and sense of smell. The nose can be divided into external and internal portions. The external nose is the portion of the nose visible on the face and consists of a supporting framework of bone and hyaline cartilage covered with muscle and skin and lined by a mucous membrane. I am again repeating, the nose can be divided into two portions. One is external and one is internal. What is external nose? It is the portion of nose. You can see my nose. It is the portion of the nose that is visible on the face. You can see only my external portion of nose. That is consist of supporting framework of bone and hyaline cartilage. See, this septum, septum means the layer that is dividing two portions. A hyaline cartilage that is covered with muscle and skin and lined by a mucous membrane. The frontal bone, the nose also consists the frontal bone, nasal bone, and maxillae form the bony framework of the external nose. As air passes through the nose, it is warmed, filtered, moistened, and olfaction occur. Olfaction means smell. So this is a anterior-lateral view of external portion of nose showing cartilaginous and bony framework. So in this, you can see bony framework means these are the structures or the system that is present around the nose, where you can see there is a frontal bone, nasal bone, maxilla, and now I am going to visualize these cartilaginous framework. Cartilage. Cartilage means cartilage is your connective tissue. Cartilage, which cartilage? That is hyaline cartilage. When hyaline cartilage become mature, it become bone. Bone is also the example of your connective tissue. So the cartilaginous framework that is causing lateral nasal cartilages. These are lateral nasal cartilages. Septal cartilage. Septal means the sept. What you mean by septum? Septum means that is dividing a particular chamber into two parts. One is alar cartilage. These are dense fibrous connective and adipose tissue. You can see here. So nose is composed of some bones which are frontal, nasal, maxilla. There are some cartilaginous framework where lateral nasal cartilage, septal cartilage, alar cartilage, and another is dense fibrous connective and adipose tissue. Hope you understand this diagram. This is anterior lateral view of external portion of nose showing cartilaginous and bony framework. So what is cartilaginous framework of external nose? It is consist of septal nasal cartilage. We already discussed septal nasal cartilage is the portion that is dividing into two parts, and it is also forming the anterior portion of the nasal septum. The next is lateral nasal cartilage. This is inferior of the nasal bones. And the last one is alar cartilage, that is making a portion of the walls of the nostrils. And this framework of the external nose is somewhat flexible. Why it is flexible? because it is consists of pliable hyaline cartilage. Hyaline cartilage, see, what are the examples of hyaline cartilage? This one. If you touch at here, this cartilage, you can move right and left. This is your hyaline cartilage. On the under surface of the external nose, there are two openings which are known as nostrils or external nares. So this is the diagram of external nose. I am going to discuss one by one these structures. So you can see the epicranius, this side, this is epicranius frontal belly of your nose. Next is root, this area that is upper, or you can say the superior to the nose part, external nose, that is root from frontal bone. This is your frontal bone. We know this is your frontal bone. Why we called it frontal bone? Because the frontal lobe of your brain is present here, and the bone that is present outside that frontal lobe is your frontal bone. And bridge, that is from nasal bones of nose. This is ala of nose. Ala. We already discussed what is ala. It is dense, connective and muscular tissues. The center portion of your nose is apex of your nose. This is known apex. This is ala. And these are your nostrils. And this is your philtrum. This portion. Now on the other side, this is surface anatomy, and this is external skeletal framework, where you can see the frontal bone, nasal bone. This is cartilage. We know what is the name of this cartilage. See, here can be a viva question. What is viva question? That which cartilage is forming the external structure of nose? That is your hyaline cartilage. The next is maxillary bone. This is your maxillary bone, maxilla point, that is frontal process. Next is, these are also the hyaline cartilage. These are dense fibrous connective tissue. Now I am going to discuss about the interior structures of the external nose. They are having three functions. One is warming. Warming means to become warm, to make it at the temperature of your body. Our temperature of body is 37 degree centigrade. Next is moistening, to become moisten. Moisten means to become that dense and wet. And filtering the incoming air. We cannot directly inhale a environmental air direct into our lungs, because it will enter into your system with in pure form. But another function is detecting olfactory stimuli. Olfactory means smell. See, in every type of fragrance or every type of stimuli that is having some fragrance or smell, they are having some specific chemicals that is recognized by your olfactory system. The other function of external nose is modifying speech vibrations as they pass through the large hollow resonating chambers. कई बार आपने देखा होगा कि अगर आपको जुकाम है तो आपकी जो आवाज है वो चेंज हो जाती है, ठीक है. Now there is a term that is resonance. What do you mean by resonance? Resonance refers to prolonging. Resonance means refers to prolonging. Prolonging means for a long time. Amplifying means multiply करना उसको. Or modifying a sound by vibration. Next is olfactory nerve. This is also known as the first cranial nerve. This is your, see, what is your first cranial nerve? In my morning lecture, we studied about the cranial nerve. The olfactory nerve is your first cranial nerve, also known as sensory nerve for smell. Smell means olfaction. They originate as specialized olfactory nerve endings, like these are known as chemoreceptors, which are present in mucous membrane of the roof of the nasal cavity up above the superior nasal concha. So I am repeating this sentence. This is very important. This is a very important word, that is chemoreceptors. Chemoreceptors are the olfactory nerve ending. Suppose कोई बहुत अच्छा किसी ने सेंट लगाया है या परफ्यूम लगाया है, अब वो सेंट या परफ्यूम जो है, इट हैविंग सम वेपर्स, उसके अंदर वेपर्स है। वेपर मतलब उनके अंदर कुछ ऐसे पर्टिकुलर केमिकल्स हैं जिनको आपकी बॉडी रिकॉग्नाइज करती है। जैसे मैं एक एग्जांपल देता हूं आपको, गुलाब का फूल। गुलाब का फूल एक ऐसा फूल है जिसकी खुशबू को अगर आप आंख बंद करके भी महसूस करना चाहें तो आप महसूस कर सकते हैं। क्यों? क्योंकि उसकी जो ऑल्फैक्शन है, जो स्मेल है, उस स्मेल को, उस ऑल्फैक्शन को आपने अपने ब्रेन में एज ए मेमोरी स्टोर किया हुआ है। यू कैन इमेजिन द स्मेल ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर फ्रेग्रेंस, ऑफ पर्टिकुलर स्मेल। So how this beautiful mechanism is performed? This mechanism is performed by chemoreceptors. Later on, we will discuss and I will highlight these topics on chemoreceptors, which are present in the mucous membrane of the roof of nasal cavity. Suppose ये आपके नोज में जो अपर कैविटी है, दैट इज योर नेजल कैविटी, इसकी जो रूफ है, इस रूफ पे यहाँ पे जो भी रिसेप्टर्स होंगे वो आपके होंगे कीमो रिसेप्टर्स, विच आर ऑल्सो present at the above of the superior nasal concha. So here is a diagram where you can easily understand. I am going to discuss in detail this diagram so you easily understand. So first we discuss, this is the olfactory apparatus in the nose. This olfactory apparatus having a epithelium layer which is making roof of nasal cavity. Now viva question is, what is making roof of nasal cavity? Your epithelial tissue. In epithelial tissue there are different type of cell. Now here is the question, which type of cell and which type of receptor they are making? That is known as chemoreceptors. I already discussed that अगर कोई गुलाब का फूल और उसकी खुशबू है या कोई पर्टिकुलर, अच्छा एक क्वेश्चन है मेरा आप सभी से, जैसे किसी को चंदन की खुशबू पसंद है, किसी को गुलाब की खुशबू पसंद है, किसी को कोई अगरबत्ती पसंद है, किसी को कोई अगरबत्ती पसंद है, तो ऐसा क्यों है? क्योंकि आपने वो सिस्टम डेवलप किया है। यू डेवलप ए सिस्टम where some specific smells are stored in your brain with the help of chemoreceptors. That chemicals attached to your chemoreceptors. See, these are chemoreceptors. I am showing these nerve endings. These are nothing but nerve endings. These are chemoreceptors. So there are specified cells like supporting cells, olfactory cells, and these are known as olfactory nerves. Olfactory nerves are the nerves. This is your cranial nerve. Sorry, olfactory nerve. So these are the nerve endings which are coming from the olfactory region. So in between the temporal lobe of cerebrum, this is temporal lobe of cerebrum. From where these cranial nerves are coming? These cranial nerves are coming from temporal lobe. What is this? Is your frontal lobe. Now I am explaining in a very simplified manner. This is your frontal lobe. Posterior to frontal, prefrontal lobe, occipital lobe. This is your temporal lobe side, यहाँ पे back इस side पे. This is your temporal lobe. Okay. So जहाँ cranial nerves यहाँ से निकल रही है और कहाँ आ रही है आपके nose में आ रही है. So these are the supplies. So these are olfactory tract. We know what is tract. Tract means the passage, the bundle of axons. The next is olfactory bulb. These are specialized cells or organs, or you can say a specialized chamber from where these nerves are coming. These these nerves are coming down to your nose and making some chemoreceptors. So, what is your olfactory system? The internal nose is a large cavity beyond the nasal vestibule in the anterior aspect of the skull. It lies inferior to the nasal bone and superior to the mouth. It is lined with muscle and mucous membrane. Anteriorly, the internal nose merges with the external nose. Posteriorly, it communicates with the pharynx through two openings called the internal nares or conae. The conae are the posterior nasal apparatus separated by the vomer, and it is the opening between the nasal cavity and the nasopharynx. This is very important point. What is the opening between the nasal cavity and the nasopharynx is posterior nasal aperture separated by vomer. If somebody asks what is vomer, then you can say it is the opening between the nasal cavity and the nasopharynx. It is therefore a space bounded anteriorly by palatine bone and superiorly by the sphenoid bone. So these are the basic structure about the nose. So here it is a parasagittal section of the left side of head and neck, showing the location of respiratory structures along with the clear demonstration of nose. You can see this is parasagittal structure. You can see this is your nose. This is your nasal vestibule. See, nose is associated not only with nose, it is associated with your respiratory tract. Nose is associated with your mouth. Nose, there are some canals which are coming and entering into the nose from eyes. It means nose is a very important एंड मिडल स्ट्रक्चर. आप आंख में दवाई डालते हैं तो नाक में आ जाती है, कान में दवाई डालते हैं तो नाक में आ जाती है, मुंह में आ जाती है. तो ये सारी चीजें क्यों हैं? फॉर दैट पर्पस दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज गोइंग ऑन. सो इन दिस डायग्राम यू कैन सी somebody saying, आपने सुना होगा मुझे साइनस की प्रॉब्लम है, मुझे साइनोसाइटिस है. सो व्हाट इज साइनोसाइटिस, व्हाट इज साइनस? See, above the nose, there are some group of tissue or the muscles which are surrounding the nose are known as sinus. Sinus are muscular tissues present surrounding and laterally to the nose. So this is frontal sinus. This is your frontal sinus. This is your frontal bone. This is your olfactory epithelium. Olfactory epithelium, we already discussed. What is olfactory epithelium? Olfactory epithelium is making the roof of nose. Now, these are the structures we know. This is your nasal vestibule. This is your maxilla, below the nose, your maxilla. That is your oral cavity. This is, please concentrate on my mouse. This is your palatine bone. This is your tongue. This is your lingual tonsils. These are tonsils, lingual tonsils. This is your mandible, hyoid bone. I specified and mentioned those structures which are only associated with the nose. This is your sphenoid bone. This is sphenoidal sinus. Now again a sinus. See, sinus, I already discussed. The sinus are the muscular tissues and the structures of tissue which are present surround the nose. This is sphenoidal sinus. See, this is your nasopharynx. See, what is pharynx? There is question is, what is pharynx? Pharynx is nothing but the layer present inside the nose. This is your nasopharynx. oropharynx and laryngopharynx. Okay, nasopharynx, the roof, जहां से हवा, pharynx means the passage of air, हवा का आने जाने का रास्ता. Pharynx is roof of your nose. So in entry point, that is nasopharynx. Below the nasopharynx, this is oropharynx, and this is your laryngopharynx. So you can see the nasopharynx. This is your nasopharynx area. Nasopharynx. This is opening of auditory tube. Which tube? Auditory tube. Which tube? Eustachian tube. This is your uvula. This is palatine tonsil, focus. This is your oropharynx, epiglottis, and laryngopharynx. So these are structures which are associated with your nose. See, air is coming from this side and enter into your respiratory tract. And this is a very important structure, that is your epiglottis. When epiglottis is down, epiglottis is the lid. ये वो ढक्कन है जो आपके respiratory tract के ऊपर present है. So this is the frontal section of nose showing internal nares, जिसको आप nostrils भी बोलते हैं, कोने, separated by the vomer. So these are your eyeball. This is the real structure or real section of your nose. This is periorbital fat that is present surround the nose. These are ethmoidal cell. This is superior nasal concha. This is superior nasal concha. This is middle nasal concha. Concha means septum, जो separate है. देखो ये right side भी और left side भी है. This is inferior nasal concha. This is maxillary sinus. This is your heart plate and this is your vomer. This portion जो पीछे तक जा रहा है, septum. This is your vomer, जहां से opening हो रही है आपके nose की. This is perpendicular plate of ethmoid. This is perpendicular plate of ethmoid. This is called as nasal septum. So nasal septum is divided into perpendicular plate of ethmoid, vomer, and heart plate. This is the frontal section showing the concave. So now I am going to discuss about these paranasal sinuses. So the ducts which are originating from the paranasal sinuses, which drain mucus, and the nasolacrimal ducts which drain the tears, also open into the internal nose. There are some bones containing paranasal sinuses are known as skull bones, like frontal bone, sphenoid bone, ethmoid bone, and maxillary bone. Beside producing mucus, the paranasal sinuses serve as resonating chambers for sound as we speak or sing. जैसे हम बोलते हैं करते हैं तो जो हमारा एयर का passage है, that is controlling with each other. The lateral wall of the internal nose are formed by the ethmoid, maxillary, lacrimal, palatine, and inferior nasal concave. The ethmoid bone also forms the roof of the internal nose. So this is the sagittal section, a schematic presentation of medial view of sagittal section, where you can see the different type of bones and septum present in the nose. Associated with the nose, you can see in upper side there is a frontal bone. This is frontal sinus. This is your nasal bone, septal cartilage, which is formed by hyaline cartilage. Crista galli, this is crista galli. Next is sphenoid sinus. This is your sphenoid sinus is sinus. See, don't confuse sinus with bone. Sinus is a region, muscular region, collection of tissues that is near to sphenoid bone. Next is your nasal septum. Nasal septum means the septum means which separate two canals. Septum means ऐसी लेयर जो किसी चैम्बर को दो पार्ट में बांट रही हो, जिसमें आपके क्या आ रहे हैं, परपेंडिकुलर प्लेट ऑफ एथमोइड बोन, वोमर बोन एंड स्फिनोइड बोन, and the another and the last one is horizontal plate of palatine bone and palatine process of maxilla. So these are the associations which are present in the nasal cavity and associated with the nose. So I am going to discuss the different functions of these structures. The palatine bones and palatine processes of the maxillae, which together constitute the hard plate, form the floor of the internal nose. The space within the internal nose is called the nasal cavity. The anterior portion of the nasal cavity just inside the nostrils called the nasal vestibule is surrounded by cartilage. The superior part of the nasal cavity is surrounded by bone. A vertical partition means this one, not this one, this one. A vertical partition, the nasal septum divides the nasal cavity into right and left sides. The anterior portion of the nasal septum, anterior means this one, आगे वाला. The anterior portion of the nasal septum consists primarily of hyaline cartilage. The remainder is formed by the vomer. We know vomer is this is your vomer. If you see, this is your vomer. Perpendicular plate of the ethmoid, maxillae and palatine bones. So this is a schematic presentation of the structures that form the nasal septum, ethmoid bone, vomer and the septal cartilage. You can see this is your frontal sinus. This is ethmoid cribriform plate. This is sphenoid sinus. This is your nasal bone. This is your perpendicular plate of ethmoid bone, this one. After the perpendicular plate of ethmoid bone, there is a septal cartilage formed by hyaline cartilage. This is vomer. Now you will understand what is vomer. This is vomer. Next is vomeronasal cartilage. This is specific cartilage formed by hyaline cartilage, your maxilla and your palatine bone. So this is the schematic representation of structures that form the nasal septums, the ethmoid bone, vomer and the septal cartilage. Now I am going to discuss about the detail and function of this system. When air enters the nostrils, it passes first through the vestibule, which is lined by skin containing coarse hairs that filter out large dust particles. Three shelves formed by projection of the superior, middle, and inferior nasal conchae extended out of each lateral wall of the nasal cavity. The conchae almost reaching the nasal septum subdivide each side of nasal cavity into a series of groove-like passageways. The superior, middle, and inferior metasis. Mucous membrane lines the cavity and it shelves. The arrangement of conchae and metasis increases surface area in the internal nose and prevent dehydration by trapping water droplets during exhalation. So this is the basic information about the structure and function of nostrils, vestibules, inferior nasal conchae, the metasis and the different surface area present in there. The olfactory receptor lie in a region of the membrane lining the superior nasal conchae and adjacent septum called the olfactory epithelium. This is a very important question for Viva, that if somebody asks what you mean by olfactory epithelium, तो आप लोग आंसर दे सकते हैं, yes, this is formed by the epithelial tissue making the roof of nasal cavity. Inferior to the olfactory epithelium, the mucous membrane contains capillaries and pseudo-stratified ciliated columnar epithelium with many goblet cells. As inhaled air whirls around the conchae and metasis, it is worn by blood in the capillaries. And you know, mucus is always secreted by the goblet cells of epithelial tissue, which moisten the air and trap dust particle. आप जो हवा अपने रेस्पिरेटरी ट्रैक में ले रहे हैं, ये ऐसे ही नहीं जा रही है, इसके पीछे एक पूरा प्रिवेंटिव मैकेनिज्म है। एनवायरमेंटल धूल, मिट्टी, किसी तरह का कोई बैक्टीरिया, कोई इन्फेक्शन, कंटेमिनेशन, इन सारी चीजों को आपके नेजल कैविटी के अंदर एक ऐसी देयर इज ए स्पेसिफिक सेटअप that is preventing those environmental toxin to get enter into your respiratory system and prevent it from infection. There are two type of infections like upper respiratory tract infection and lower respiratory tract infections, and the other is the drainage from the nasolacrimal ducts also helps in moisten the air and is sometimes assisted by secretions from the paranasal sinuses. Now, what is the function of cilia? The cilia means the minor flagellas present on the epithelial tissue. Cilia is very important. The cilia moves the mucus and trapped dust particle towards the pharynx, thus removing the particles from the respiratory tract. Now, next is tongue. So I am just going through about the this one nose, so you can easily understand. Before discussing the tongue, I want to discuss about the disorder of nose. This is very important. So in my next lecture, I will discuss about the nose. So today with us we have Dr. Sant Kumar Verma. Now he is working as a associate professor in Department of Pharmaceutical Chemistry in our ISF College of Pharmacy. I welcome you, sir, in this special ISF marathon series. And in my next lecture, I will discuss about the disorder of nose, tongue, disorder of tongue, and will conclude the lecture of this unit 4 of anatomy and physiology.